All right, good day and welcome to the review on the wheel with Jay. And today I have with me Comrade Dan, social analyst.
Thank you.
And we are going to review what happened at the 2023 February 25th general election, where INEC declared Ahmed Tinubu of APC winner, Atiku Abubakar of PDP second, and Obi Peter of Labour Party coming third. And in our last discussion about this election, Dan says the election is going to be between the two heavy political parties, PDP and APC, and P2B was going to come third. Then we're going to look at the irregularities within the election, and we'll look at also the postponement of the state elections, and is it possible for Obi to emerge through the courts, as there is a wide cry of rigging, by so many observers and people, Nigerians, and even the political opposition parties, crying that there was a high level of rigging, and PDP even had a protest, last week. So, Mr. Dan,
Thank you.
what do you think about this 25th February election, the presidential election? Last week you predicted APC winning and P2B coming third. So what do you think about this whole the process? How was the election and the irregularities during the elections?
Well, the election has come and gone, and we thank God for everything. Before this program, I predicted almost what INEC announced, but I was so shocked at the performance of the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi. I will quote Fayose word to word. Peter Obi show us pepper.
Right.
Peter Obi gave it to Nigerians the way Nigerians did not expect. He tried. He's the hero of the 2023 presidential election. Of course, there were irregularities. INEC chairman telling us he's going to transmit results electronically, but what we saw was manually. The manually is even a good thing. What we saw was a ghost transmission of results, because we weren't knowing where results were coming from. People were complaining that if you go to the IRF portal, instead of you seeing election result, you will be seeing Copper's face. Some people said I even saw a bait Niger company in one of the polling units.
Yeah,
we don't know. Yes, we don't know whether that was or that is the result INEC is trying to tell us that they are transmitting. But up to date, as I tell you, I keep visiting IRF. My polling unit result is not even in the INEC portal. I wonder how they got the computation of the result they announced.
So in this whole observation of yours about the election, now what can we now say about this election? Can we say this election is more peaceful, more free compared to previous elections that we have witnessed in Nigeria?
Yes, in terms of security, the peaceful conduct of the election, I will rate this particular election 75%.
Okay.
The election is peaceful, and in terms of the fairness, I'm going to rate the election 42%, because we were doing the election peacefully, and we also thought that INEC will also announce the result peacefully, the way the election is going peacefully. But the shenanigans to the announcement of the result that we saw is something that is suspicious. That is why you see the Labour Party presidential candidate and the PDP presidential candidate heading to court. That means the election cannot be adjudged to be free or fair until otherwise declared by the Supreme Court.
Okay, now coming to the issue of the court cases now. We have seen INEC now calling on, after the Labour Party candidates went to courts, seeking the permission of the court, or will I say the court to grant them, that legal backing for the INEC to give them the permission to inspect the materials. But, the INEC keeps saying they want to reconfigure the beavers. And the concern of Nigerians, well, if you reconfigure these beavers based on the understanding of reconfiguration of any devices, that means you're going to wipe the whole data, and it become a bone of contention. Now, court said you can do that, but then make sure that you lose no data, right? And then less than 48 hours, INEC postpone the state election.
Okay.
Is there anything, let's say, okay, could we say that maybe they have already reconfigured and then they went to court for formality, as some people said on social media, although we cannot hold on to that as a substantial stuff, but do you have any thoughts, about that?
Well, I will score INEC very low on that, because you see, a technology is something that needs to be studied, used, tested before you put it into public use.
Oh, yes.
But the beavers that we know, the beavers INEC told us, is something that has storage device,
Yeah.
and something that once configured, it is configured.
Yeah.
It's just like a software application. Like now, if you are using a Nokia or an Android phone, Android want to put something in that their app, they don't. Everybody does not even need to bring their Android phone to the office before it will change.
Yeah.
Once they will check into their device, do the changes, and automatically you will see it in your Android phone wherever you are, even if you are in the village in Oju.
That means you have to just update
it
your
and,
phone,
and
and then
it will
just
so,
reflect.
but this one, INEC is trying to tell us now that they'll need to bring the beavers to the headquarters before they will reset it. Is the beavers manually reset, or is it a calculator? Some of us don't know. But me, in my own opinion, INEC should have foreseen all this long jam, because it is normal, it is typical in our election that after election there are litigations here and there. So people angry, people that lost used to be very angry and go to court. All this time frame, and they should have put it in under consideration before fixing the election timetable. But this one they have done now, they have committed a lot of people into an unnecessary debt, like people that traveled, people that budgeted for 2 days, 3 days, all
like
of them,
like I was preparing to also travel for the election.
Yes.
Now I have to reschedule my and then the way things are looking right now with the fuel scarcity, no cash and all of that.
Community, I have to be fair with you. INEC is saying they have more than 1,000 something, more than 10,000 beavers that they need to reconfigure.
We have over 100,000 polling units.
Yes.
So if you are going to bring all the beavers together to reconfigure them, are you going to like 100,000 people to reconfigure those things?
And INEC is trying to tell us now that the Court of Appeal delayed them. Court of Appeal did not delay them. They brought their case before Court of Appeal on Monday. Court of Appeal have to consider the rest people's application too, and they deliver their judgment on Wednesday. What is the delay there?
Because
so
looking at this,
in totality, INEC was not even prepared to conduct the election this weekend.
Okay.
Because if you brought a case before the court, the next day the court saw other people's application, and after the next day they ruled the case within 3 days. You are telling us now that it's because of the judgment.
Because the judgment was on Wednesday.
Yes, and the case was brought before the court on Monday.
Yes, the judgment was Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes.
And I think that if they were even going to do it manually, the people should have been at the headquarters as of after the election immediately. Because I don't know what the beavers should be doing at the state level or at the local government level up till now that they are bringing them this week. You can still bring the beavers and still, so that's by the way.
But if things were working, do you need to bring the beavers to Abuja?
No,
because INEC has their headquarters in the local government.
So
INEC has their headquarters in all states.
Yes.
You send technicians to those places to configure them.
Yes.
But they still need it to be brought to Abuja. I don't understand what is happening.
And now, if you look at even the checking of the INEC materials by the opposition, I believe that what they are trying to do is, you say you're going to transmit this, so I don't think they are going to inspect all the beavers. I believe that the oppositions, maybe they have something like, they have technicians, they have software engineers and all of that. Maybe they should be checking their servers and trying to understand what happened, how the results were doctored, how the results were missing, what happened and all those kind of things. I think that is, to my own opinion, that should be what the opposition are trying to do. But INEC saying they want to do manual. Anyway,
well, I am not a lawyer, but what I'm trying to see in what the opposition's party that went to court wants to do is to test the efficiencies of the beavers, whether it was actually used or not. And if they go the way they are going, they will discover that the beavers was not efficiently used.
And with that,
it's
cancellation of the election.
It's a one own goal to the election. You understand? Because the beavers now is in our electoral law. It's not an enhancement again. It's something that is compulsory that you must use. But if they go on with this search and inspection, they are definitely going to come to a point where they will see a lot of polling units not using these beavers.
It's all right. Now, going by the accusation by the opposition party today, the ruling political party, some people have it that this election was massively rigged. And most people are having this thought that the rigging that comes from the southwest part, there's the northern part of the country, and those are the places that the election was rigged, and the southeast was not rigged. And we saw some videos in some parts of the country, from the south, from the north, from the east, even the west, where like MC Olomo of Lagos, who was asking people to leave the polling unit, they're not voting APC. The security agency didn't make any arrests. And this week we saw on social media where people are saying, okay, we come to the polling unit for the state election with our dogs, so we scare away any talk that will come to snatch ballot balls or to stop anybody from voting. And police is releasing a statement that those are possible way of intimidating voters.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, you see, the case is before the court now, and any other suggestion I give is just a mere analysis. To me, in my own opinion, I told you earlier that I scored the election no more than 45%. There was rigging, oh yes. There was fairness, oh yes. There was manipulation, oh yes. But the question we're supposed to ask ourselves is, the manipulation fair enough to cancel the election, having in consideration the cost of conducting a presidential election in Nigeria?
But there is a provision for every run, and the money was provided.
There is a provision for a run. But you see, politics sometimes is a tactical game. It's like what Liverpool did to Man U. Man U came to Anfield with the full chest that they are going to demolish Liverpool. Then suddenly things started changing when Gakpo scored the first goal. They were so confident in the second half. They came back again and they were pushing. Nunes came, Salah came. The butcher Martinez couldn't even know what he was playing. That is politics for you. You see, in this game, Atiku, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, they were all PDPs. They splitted. Tinubu is just a lone APC man in the game. You understand? So, calculation, in terms of political calculation, you cannot adjudge that the vote Tinubu got was actually a purchased vote. Because if you check the political culture of the Northerners, they hardly vote for any candidate that is sympathetic to a religion that is not theirs. And everybody knows Peter Obi's pattern of campaign, which is Christian, church, and the rest. So it has done.
But it was at the mosques.
Yes, it has done.
He recognized with the Islamic scholar.
Yes, he recognized with them. But the way some of our clergies took the obedient movement personally, as if it's like the war between Lucifer and God's angel.
Anyway,
so that has made a lot of Muslims who was sympathetic to obedient movement got disenchanted. And the vote Atiku is supposed to get massively from the north. Kwankwaso also came and splitted some. You understand? And the Northerners, APC is just like their food. It's just like their party ate. So I can see that the troubleshot in this election is because of the split nature of the vote. And by and large, whatever comes out, Peter Obi is the hero of this election.
Okay, that is it from us today. Until next time, I remain Jay.